Hey guys, Peter Harper, Managing Director and CEO of Ascena Advisors. Today I wanted to talk about a highly specialised topic. It's for Australian-owned US businesses that think that they might be looking to sell in the next 18 to 24 months. So we had our Australian tax desk in the last number of weeks had a paper, an academic paper published in the Tax Institute's Blue Journal on a topic which should be of significant concern for any client that is operating in Australia through some form of discretionary trust that owns a US business. So last year the ATO released 2 draft determinations which completely overturned the way in which a large part of the advisor community thought that foreign source capital gains flowed through Australian resident discretionary trusts. It was widely thought to be the case that if a foreign source capital gain was generated and flowed back into Australia through an Australian trust out to a beneficiary that was a non-resident of Australia, that it was not subject to tax. And this is because there's a very specific language within Division 6 of the 1936 Act which covers the taxation of Australian trusts that specifically stipulated that non-resident beneficiaries of Australian trusts would only be taxed if they were receiving Australian sourced income. Right, and in this particular situation, we're saying that the sale of shares in a US company would be foreign sourced income. The basis for the ATO's position is based on language that exists within Division 115 and centres around the taxation of discount capital gains, which is a form of statutory income, and that because there is other language within Division 855 which concerns fixed trusts, which specifically stipulates a situation where interests in a trust will not be subject to Australian taxation. What does this practically mean? This practically means that if you own a US business via an Australian trust and you are living within America, so you're a US resident, that a future capital gain could be taxed at a rate as high as 58% without looking at some form of reorganisation of your structure. So what are we recommending today? What we're having many discussions with clients about is when it comes to the prospect of future transactional planning is structural reorganisation. Now is an opportune time if you're looking at a prospective major discount to your business value to restructure, potentially without tax or with a substantial reduction to a tax bill. So if you're an Australian a family office founder entrepreneur or ultra high net worth individual and you own interests in US businesses or direct investments, please contact us today and we can talk about what we think we can do to restructure your holdings. Cheers.